Do you know how soon you can start training your child these days?
I started at 6, so
18 months. 1.5.
wow.
The milestone where the child begins to communicate, but that is parent participation.
Playtime is only from 6 years to 12 years. That's when you can play. That's all.
Andrea, the third episode, and we are going to speak about what?
Impact of play on kids today.
Okay.
And we are going to talk about parents as well to see how much we know and what insight we can give them on play.
So you're going to say why kids play, it's not really necessary. They need to focus more on studies?
No,
Okay.
the other way
The
around,
other way around.
because I was that student.
Okay. Because for me, all my teachers said, oh, you're wasting your time, child. Do not kick the ball. It's not going to take you anywhere. Let's speak about this topic. I'd like to know a teacher's thought who promotes play, which again, I am totally for. How young were you when you first started?
I was in maybe 2nd, 3rd or 4th grade. I started back then.
Okay.
Now for me, because it was all about studying all the time, because our house was like that. My parents would work and Saturday, Sunday would mean studying all day.
Okay.
And in school, we would have extracurricular sports that only happened on Saturday and Sunday. So I would want to go there because I didn't want to sit down at home at 9 a.m. on my desk and do maths. So for me, I would rather have to wake up at 5 in the morning, get ready, and go play football. I know nothing about sports, but I wanted to play so that I could escape from that pressure of sitting and studying. But there are students who are so passionate about play, and we can see them because for us in school, PE is mandatory. In school, we had PE every day. And you believe it or not, there are girls. I come from a convent school. We had girls who have so much potential. They play even till date. They play hockey, they play football. And right from the beginning, from year 1, 2, 3, that's when the training started. And right up till grade 10, they didn't stop. They kept playing. They moved on to college and they still continued. But of course, teachers, like you said, would look at them and say, what about your board exams? What about your final exam? It should not come with a price. We want to see holistic development. And you've got to do your academic bit and you've got to play as well. Just because you're playing doesn't mean you don't have to study. You have to, right? And we didn't have a choice. We had to study. This I'm talking about what we did when we were school. I'm sure you had the same experience as well. But today it's different. In fact, today it's difficult to find people playing down. We used to go down to play as kids every day. I used to come home from school and used to play down in the building every day. Just run around. But today you don't see that. It's very sad. It's a sad reality that kids do not go down to play. But what is stopping them from doing it? First of all, parents do know the impact of play because today's parents have all been a part of that era where they went down, they fell down, they made a mess, they climbed trees, they played. All of us have done that. When I'm talking about play, I'm not necessarily meaning that you have to be good at a sport. I mean that you need to be outdoors. You need to run around. You need to get few scrapes and bruises. You need to understand how to be in nature and how that environment is good for you. I understand parents go to work. They don't have the time to see that, okay, this is the time my child should go down and play, make friends and socialize. It becomes more of a security and safety reason to not have them go down to play. I understand that. But sometimes it also becomes a compulsion where you don't want to go down to play, fine, here, device. And I have seen that happen. I'm talking from experience because when we have kids, we give them free time to play. They love to go down. They just love to go out and run around in the field. And I'm standing there and watching because their whole concept of play today, sadly, is to run around and fall on top of each other. And I'm amazed. Say, this is your concept of play? Okay. That's because you're not exposed to it. And as a teacher, I did this last year where I told the kids, this is your assignment, okay? Go home. You are the group leader. I've made 5 different groups. You are the group leader and you are going to come up with games that we can play on the field during our break time. I gave them 3-4 days to think about it. They've come back after 3-4 days and I called the leaders and I said, ready? Let's go play. They've come with devices to me. 3 of them have come with devices and said, teacher, our group is going to play on the device and we'll teach them how to. That's not the point. I said, we need to play outdoors. They were shocked. Teacher, how can we play a game outdoors? We can't play football. You said no football. You said no cricket. What can we play then? As kids, we would have 7 tiles and we would have different games, and they do not know those things. Of course, because of the change in time, because of the change in culture and things like that, they wouldn't know that. But the whole idea of having them to think of a game that's not a sport per se, to be outdoor and play, took them aback. They were like worried about how we're going to do this because they are not exposed to it. I'm talking about an experience that I had. I'm not saying that all kids today face the same thing. But that one experience in itself was enough for me to understand that kids really need to get out there. Okay, we are very concerned about safety, but how much can we hold them back? That makes us micromanage them. We are not giving them that freedom that they need, that opportunity to go out and play and learn by simply falling down. Yeah, so for me, that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying impact of play. I'm not saying you have to become Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't want you to be that. I just want you to go out. Take your cycle, go out, meet people, socialize, talk, and understand what it means to be in the presence of people. Be with your age group, be with people your age. Nowadays, it's even difficult to find that, because there's no one to play. Even if I, as a parent, if I want to send my child down to play, I'll say, okay, go. I went to cycle, take your cycle and go down. I'm cycling by myself because there's no one else. What am I going to do then? I'll leave my cycle, I go back up, I sit with a device. So as a teacher, I encourage, if you are parents and if you have a child and you know that there are friends or people around that are of the same age group, make it a point to make that group, bring them together, send them down to play, take turns to supervise, but start inculcating that in them. It's very important to have them go out and experience that so that they can grow socially and emotionally as well. It's very important for them to be outside in nature. Even for us as adults, it's sometimes we think of it as, oh my God, if you have to go for a walk, wake up at 5, go down, change into gear. No, just go stand outside for some time, breathe, go down in your building, take one round. That sense of calm and peace that you get by just being outside is not what you're going to get if you're just in the classroom or in your office. So for me, just being outdoor is very, very essential. And as much as I can, I try to take my kids out to play. I know that there is syllabus to cover, board work to do, writing work to do. But as much as I can, I take them outside, put them out, place different things in different places. Find your stuff, read through it, learn from this. Try to make my lessons more interactive by taking them outside. That has a lot of impact on them. You'll see how positively they change. Their attitude changes completely.
I agree with you because I had a conversation with a friend and he told me that the gaming industry is $1 billion business. So if anyone's gone on their devices because gaming is pushing really hard. And yes, the pandemic did hit us really bad with it. But physical literacy and movement, it is absolutely essential. Why? Because it helps you get healthy. Healthy mind, healthy body, healthy mind. There are data that show when you work out, it fights depression, it gets you stronger, it gives you good health. Not just that, how soon can one start training is a question. Right now, even the parents who have gone through the process of outdoor play, climbing trees, all of those, they don't want to send their child out. Why? Because no, it's my son or daughter is going to get dark in the under the sun. I'm like, but what about vitamin D? What about your child's bone health? What about experiencing nature? So it's very essential. You can't take your child and play in the moonlight. Right now, people are so much into body shaming, body image. Just like you said, a simple walk, your basic exercise, it does get you healthy. Focus on getting healthy, not really to the social media standards, which is highly edited.
Yes.
It's highly fabricated as well.
Yes.
So we need to work on a well-balanced diet. We need to work on increasing our knowledge through studies. At the same time, play is very important because that gets you physically healthy as well. Do you know how soon you can start training your child these days?
I started at 6, so
18 months. 1.5.
wow.
The milestone where the child begins to communicate, but that is parent participation because a parent can understand what the child is doing. So it works as a team. So a coach is there. You work together as a team. But I understand because of Corona, that age group that young, some parents are very hesitant.
Yes.
Fair enough. But you know what? You can still start at 3, from 3 to 8. Do not put them in one sport, put them in multi-sports. Come on, have fun. You have fun, you learn. Something similar to what I see you do. You actually take the children to a fun environment.
Yes.
Start teaching them, and they will learn faster because they're having fun.
True.
You need to also look at what they're good at.
Yes.
And again, it is not a very general approach. We see, yes, everybody across, we come up with a loosely structured plan. It has its growth elements.
Right.
We target age and stage. We are teaching the sport that we know and qualified for and really passionate about teaching. But it's not perceived that way. It's perceived as we've paid the money, we want results. It's not fast food that you give something and instantly that happens. And funny thing is, these are modern parents.
Yes.
These are modern parents. But for some odd reason, they fail to understand. It is not one size fits all.
I think my focus ideally from the conversations that we are having is for parents to take away that it's essential to be a part of the process. Don't look at your final stage. What about the journey? What about the process? If you don't focus on that, you're not going to achieve what you want at the end. My message and my advice to parents right now, whoever's watching this, it's for you to accept and to be a part of every step of that learning journey that takes place. Don't sit at the back, have a goal and say, that's the goal, you fetch. No. You need to be a part of the process with your child, whether it's sport, whether it's academics, anything that you're expecting a child to do. If you want them to reach that certain goal, as a parent, it's your responsibility to be with them along that journey.
How it is to be a woman in sports in India, especially when you were growing?
For me, being a part of a team was actually something that gave me confidence. I don't belong to a particular sport that I'm really, really good at, but I put my hand in everything and I wanted to try everything. I wanted to play. Back then, if you know, football was supposed to be a boy sport. So if I was a part of the football team, people would ask me, why are you doing that? So right from that time itself, sports started becoming a big thing where even girls were a part of it. You know, and I think that needs to continue right now because we are seeing a lot of progress. And I'm not going to talk in terms of technicality aspect of sports because I don't belong there. When I was about 12 is when we had started writing our exams. That's when my parents said, no more sports. But I didn't stop. They didn't know I was playing. I still played because now your playtime is up and it's for you time to focus on your academics. Playtime is only from 6 years to 12 years. That's when you can play. That's all. But eventually I kept playing. And one day I've gone home and told them, you know, I am playing for school. I have a tournament happening in Goregaon Sports Club. Dad, will you come with me? Dad was on top of the world. Oh, someone's in sports at least in the house. You know, so from there, I went on to pursue. I kept playing. I play even today. You know, not professionally, but just because it keeps me boosted all the time. So, yeah, that's my experience when it comes to playing and how I went on from there.
So yes, parents, please, if ever you get any kind of opportunity to take your child, go out, enjoy the nature, even if it's just a walk, go ahead and do it because Andrea, who's a teacher here, believes that that would help them even in their education, even in their building knowledge. And I 100% back that belief because I believe healthy body, healthy mind is a package.
Yes,
So-
most definitely.
Andrea, thank you so much for your time. I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much for these 3 wonderful episodes. And it was really insightful as always.
Thank you so much for having me. I really hope our viewers have taken a message back from these episodes and I'm always willing to help.